Hello everyone, today's video is a bit different from my usual content like crypto and Bitcoin. If you want to listen to my personal story, it would mean a lot to me. So pause the video if you want to and grab something to drink or eat, because this could potentially be a very long video. It's a very, very personal story and it's very hard to tell, okay? And that's why I always think about other people first before myself. My personal story is very, very long, okay? I'm nearly 40 years old now. I had a tale of struggle with addiction from very early in life, recovery and finding a new path in life. I am, by nature, a very, very shy person, and I overthink a lot. If you would listen to my story, it would mean very much to me. I grew up in Norway. My dad was English speaking, but he was officially from Fiji, so I'm half Polynesian. He was half Fiji and half Polynesian and half English, and I've heard English all my life. My English isn't 100%, but I think it is good enough. So I was grown up. When I grew up at home, we never talked about things openly, okay? We just put it in a suitcase and locked it in, okay? Locked it in. When you have locked up so much drama and shit from your life from an early age to I think I was 12, 34 or something when I went into recovery, but early in life, when I was around 13 or 14, I don't 100% remember, I started to use. In Norway, we do not have a lot of weed, but we have a lot of something called hash, okay? And started, I think I was 15, started to do this every single day. I did it before school. I went home from school. I actually went to cooking class, and we did it before school, and we ate a lot on school. It's not a funny story actually, but that's when my problems really started, because then I found out, okay, I can use drugs to kind of push all the shit into my fucking heart and ground it, okay? Forget about it. So around, I think it was around 18 or something, I actually moved for myself in a little flat. It was a 1-bedroom apartment, and this is when I really started to use drugs. It started with something called blow, or COC, if you know what that is. Something you put in your nose. I did this a lot as a young man. I think I was around 20 or something. I actually quit using those drugs because I started to use it around 17 or 17, 18, around there, maybe 16. Started to use it on a weekly basis, on parties, etc., with alcohol. When I was 18, I started to do this every single day because I could get it delivered to my doorstep and use it, okay? So I started to use it, and I really was in a deep fucking place. I remember my teacher actually had to, or kind of in Norway we call it milieu, or a person on school that talks to all the students on school. So that person started to call me in the morning. My show up on school was better, but I didn't get anything in my head there, on anything. So if you are a psychology or a teacher or something, I really want to give this out to all people out there that work with children, young children, maybe 12 to 13, because 7th grade and 8th and 9th grade, when you are around 13 to 17, that little era there, if you can grab that kid when he starts using, and do not shout at him, but actually get the right medicines and so things, maybe that kid would actually be very, very well. Because people who use drugs and alcohol or any illegal drugs, they are actually very, very nice people, okay? So I was around 18. When I was around, I think it was 19 or something, I went to my mom, because my mom moved to southern Norway. So at around 20, I started to look at a place in the southern of Norway. So then I used a lot of hash on the side. I think I did it daily at that point. So my mom was she could only live there around 3 weeks or something before I had to find my own place. I really wanted to find my own place too, and I started to apply for jobs. I applied for work in a supermarket. I got a job on something called Lidl. On that job, it was a very good job actually, because very early I started to get more delegations, and I actually became a assistant manager of that actual store there. So, but when Lidl closed up and it kind of shut down, I was in a deep place there actually, because I just got an ADHD approval or something from a psychology person, so it was kind of better. But when you mix up and down, it's not good, okay? Because if you use more hash, you need more of those uppers, so you kind of switch between them, so it's kind of fucked. Because I just went to get a diagnosis of something, and I got ADHD then, but I didn't go and talk about my kind of inner trauma and inner struggles. In 2009, I met my girlfriend that I'm actually still together with today. We had our first son in 2012, and a year later our second son. In 2011, around there, I decided to actually quit weed for good. Life at this point felt perfect actually. I started to advertise an online business, and it went really, really well. 2 years later, after I started to advertise that business I advertised was actually a kind of a fraud actually, because I didn't know it. You bought kind of advertising and you got paid on those advertising packages, and it went down. I think I lost around $300,000 in that company. But on all of those struggles, but life felt perfect actually. But life had other plans. 3 years later, I was hit by a car. I thought I was okay, but a week later, in my leg, I got a blood poisoning set to something that pierced my leg, a kind of a plastic rod or something in my leg there, or actually a metal. I went to the doctor because that blood poisoning was insane. My whole fucking leg was red like a shit, and that was insane, okay? I've never felt that fucking bad in my whole life. When I went to the hospital there, they rushed me straight into the hospital, and they said they had to take my fever or temperature, and I needed to do it in my ass. That was kind of fucked really, because I did it, went to the hospital. I really had a lot of pain at this point, because that leg and that scar was really bad. The first operation wasn't that good actually, and when I went downstairs, and at this point I actually smoked cigarettes, so I went down to smoke a cigarette, and this was straight after the operation, and this was when I really got the feeling of what opium, or kind of opiates can actually do to your body. I got so much opiates that day that I went down in a walking or with kind of rods or something. I don't know what that's called in English, but when I went down to take a cigarette, suddenly that all of the opiates and pain relief medicines I got just hit my fucking body. I had to sit down. I got up again to my room and I went to bed, okay? In mid-2019, I hit rock bottom again. I went to rehab to actually do all of the, because after I went home, after the 2 operations at the hospital, I went home, and I think this was in around 2015 or 2014 actually, and I started to get opiates, pain medication, and I bought Xanax and Valium on the side. I also used lorazepam. Any benzodiazepine I could just get in my system was good for me, I thought. But benzodiazepines is the worst thing you can quit, okay? In mid-2019, I hit rock bottom. I went to rehab. I started in group counseling. Talking open about my struggles was a really hard thing for me, because at home we never talked open about anything, at least not feelings. I spent years in counseling, fighting to get my life back. During this time, I revisited my old interest in Bitcoin, crypto, and website development. I also started to train at the gym around 4 to 5 times a week. My new addiction became creating videos and going to the gym. And spending my time with my kids. I actually got kind of a new second turn at life. I think if you call it, maybe you can call it God or whatever, that created everything here. I got a new chance to spend and watch my kids grow up. By 2022, I started my crypto channel. It was a side hustle, but I turned into something much more. Sorry for that actually, because I thought I had a good new start at life, but in early 2023, I started to feel very, very bad, okay? Low on energy. I just lied in bed. I did only the things I had to really do. I tried to train, but at that point I just didn't go to the gym. And this is actually when I got really bad. I think that was something postponed of benzodiazepine and quitting drugs at a short period. So anyone out there that is going to quit using benzodiazepines, cut down really, really slow, and you don't have to have those side effects I had here. I started to feel very low on energy, and I actually thought about every single day. I thought about ending my life. Every single day was a struggle to keep clean and sober. So I spent 3 months in psychiatric ward. Today, I'm almost 5 years clean from drugs and alcohol. I almost died 2 times, and I thank God, or whatever it is, to being able to actually see my kids grow up. So, if you think that your life is bad, get counseling and get set up, because life is a very short thing. You only have around probably between 70 and 90 years on this earth. Some people even lower, okay? So be thankful and try to be thankful every single day. If you feel sad, cry, okay? So why am I actually telling you this story? Because I actually want to be honest. I'm a very honest person. I have a conscience, and I want you at home there to try to do something you like. If you like taking pictures or creating videos about chess, whatever you want, talk about your interest. Create videos about something you really, really like, and you will get good at it eventually. It might take time, so never underestimate the power of a side hustle. That's why I have that poster in my other videos in the background on all of my videos, because I really want you to think about never underestimate the power of a side hustle or the resilience of the human spirit. If you're struggling, know that there's always a way back, a new path to take. If you watched through this whole video, I want to thank you for actually listening to my story. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep the comment section of this video open. Tell what you think, what's your thoughts on this video and my actually personal story. Until next time, keep pushing forward, and thank you for watching. Okay, have a great day. Take care.